Okay, we want to start on draperies today. We talked about all the shades, and we said that any product that opens up and down, it's a horizontal product. Any product that opens from left to right, right to left, that's a vertical product. And out of the vertical products, we have vertical blinds. Okay, so vertical blinds have they it's two categories. One of them is panel track blinds, and one of them is XL vertical blinds. Panel tracks and the panels, okay, they move from left to right. They don't tilt, okay. But then the vertical blinds, they go from left to right, and they do tilt as well. And because they tilt, the width of each vein or panel can't exceed a certain number. It can be like pretty wide, so it's way narrower, the vertical blinds. That's the difference. That's pretty much, it's just the functionality, and also the size. And this is a picture of that, and this is a picture of this. For any of the panel blinds, if you want to start customizing, this is what we do. We need the width of the window plus the overlaps on this left and right. So we're just gonna pick a material, and we're going to continue customizing. Select the mount type, if it's a ceiling mount, inside mount, or outside mount. Okay, so let's go with the ceiling mount. Next step is the width. Let's say that it's 74 by 86 or 84. That's the height. Final product measurement. So let's say if the window is 50 and we put 74, that means we're extending 12 inches on each side. And then also the height is from the top of this track all the way to the bottom of the fabric of the, okay. And so that, and then select control type, that's the cord. If it gets operated by a cord and or a baton. Baton is like those ones, the plastic sticks that they put here, okay. And then you can operate it with those. Let me go back here, and never mind. So let's say if you put a baton, and then if you put the baton, then the control position will we just have, it basically goes away. You don't have any control over it, because for baton there is no control position. If we picked cord here, then we had to pick the position of the cord, okay. Next step is if you want to stack left, draw right. So that means we stack them on the left and we draw to the right, or opposite way, or split draw. This is a split draw. This picture is for a split draw. This picture is for when everything stacks on one side, okay. So now let's say if we do a straight draw and then select track color, they offer it in white and or silver. Let's pick that, and then we put a room label, and we add to cart. Okay, so the only thing that you need to know about this product is that if a window measurement is been provided, these days we only provide architectural measurements for vertical products, which is the vertical blinds or panel systems or draperies. Once we do architectural measurements, then the rep at the shade store, they would decide how much they want to add on each side and how much stack they want to add, and all those details, they'll just go over it with the client and they decide on the final numbers. We only provide architectural measurements. Architectural measurements is the size of the window and the size of the walls around it. Okay, and if there's any specs, like if there's any obstacles or any like wall switch or anything, we put them all on the measure sheet, so then they can decide how much they want to extend and etc. So that's the only thing you need to know about verticals. And then also there's also the thing where what would be going wrong with any of this. I mean, sometimes we go to install, there's the panels are not consistently the same height. Sometimes one panel is shorter of these panel systems, like if it's like a five piece panel system, or it's like a four it really sometimes, you know, that some of them are have it like a little bit taller and or shorter. The construction is that there is a track on the top and there are some channels on that track, and on the fabric it's like Velcro, and the other side of the Velcro it's sticking to the channels, and the channels move and the panel gets Velcroed on the channels. Is that clear to you? Okay, there's like glides, like long pieces of like glides. So that's that, and then also we also have where the let me see, and you know, looking at a picture of this, start customizing. So this is the picture of a vertical blind. See, so let's just pick a material, and material we pick it and then continue customizing. Then we'll have mount type again, if it's a ceiling, inside, outside. Okay, and next step, width and height. Next step, control position, if they still the same thing, if they can get operated by cord or by buttons. Okay, and then control position, if it's a cord, then we should say left or right. It's like usually a continuous loop here, and it gets installed at the bottom here, so it's going to be like a long loop, like a cord loop. It's not a chain, it's a cord. And then direction to open, same thing, left, stack left, draw right, stack right, draw left, and split draw. And color, and that's it. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just that this tilts, okay, whereas the other one doesn't tilt. This one, it works on like little glides here. The other one works on like long glides that are sitting inside the track. Okay, that's that. Next product out of the verticals is drapery. There's much more to draperies. Usually draperies can have a lot of details and stuff. Good thing is that we've started that we provide architectural measurements. And so, in other words, we do provide the window measurement plus the sizes on the left side, left, right, and the top of the window. Okay, and then the reps at the shade store, they decide how much they want to extend on each side and on the top. Okay, different types of draperies have different type numbers on stacking. Okay, the biggest stack is for ripple fold. The smallest stack is for grommet drapery. So depending on how much, you know, we have room on each side, they would basically decide what kind of draperies they need to use. Also the thickness of the fabric, and if it has a lining and or blackout, it really counts into the stack. So we just have to understand that, and so let's just customize a drapery to see what's going on. Okay, so we have customized drapery hardware and balances and cornices. So starting with custom drapes, you see that it is different types of draperies, and so we have ripple fold drapery, which is the most common drapery that Shade Store offers, and okay, and so the ripple fold, and I'm gonna show you a picture of the ripple fold. Ripple fold, there's a track always associated with the ripple fold, and it comes with the ripple fold drapery. So if anybody is ordering ripple fold drapery, they don't have to go and pick a hardware, because it's a standard track that comes with it. It does come in different colors, but it's just one track, so there's no designs or anything related to it. So that track, and then so you just pick a material for the drapery, and see like how it is going in and out, and it snaps into the glides. Okay, there are some snaps on behind of the top of the drapery, and there are some snaps on the track, and they just snap them this to that. Okay, and that creates folds. Next, okay, single panel or pair. See, So we would decide if, you know, this drapery wants to draw only to one side, or if we want them to be like a pair. So let's say if you want to do a pair, product measurement, so that this is the final product of the drapery. So that they always have to decide on that based off of our architectural measurement. But let's just say that we want to do like a 64 by like 100. Okay, that's the finished size of the drapery. And then if, you know, it's like options is like unlight, privacy, blackout, and or privacy plus inner lighting. That's let's say if you want to do privacy, and then mount, if the track is going to get mounted on the wall or on the ceiling. So we'll just do that, and it's basically showing a picture of, this is a ceiling mount and this is a wall mount. This, you can see the bracket, but then this one, you don't, it's like the bracket, it gets installed under the ceiling, so you don't see this is the track, the whites on the top. Okay, so let's just say if you pick the ceiling mount, and or now there's different tracks. It used to be just a few like white, like simple white, or this is the standard track. It used to be like that. Okay, and this is the finishes, so you can do white, silver, or black. It used to be only white and silver and only standard. Now, and then starting a few years ago, they started doing this Madison track, which is very decorative. See, it comes with different finials. Finial is this little piece at the end of the track, or Tribeca track, and it comes in these finishes, and or Lexington track, and or Swarovski track, which Swarovski has like some crystals. Okay, that is if you want to pick whatever. So let's just pick Madison, and let's just pick the tap on. Okay, and then the finish, we want to pick the finish, and then the next step is either cord or baton. Again, for functionality, we can have two long sticks here, those are batons, and we can have a cord, which that's a cord thing. Then we have that's that, and then now we just customize it, and we're going to add to carts, and that's it. So, and then we put the room label. So see like how it's not that easy, that's hard for us if we're providing measurements for draperies, because we just do the architecture, and that's a diagram. That's a diagram, okay? More details, we can go over more details later on, but for now, I think this is enough for the draperies. So that's the ripple fold drapery, and then if we're talking about other draperies, so that was ripple fold. Tailored pleat, this is the picture of the top of the tailored pleat. See like how, what the look is, okay? And then the other one is a pinch pleat. This is the look of it. Okay, and then this is the grommet. This one was the one that has the least amount of stack. It's like the stack is minimal for this one. I'm going to put a color so you can see the difference. Okay, so that's that, and that's a grommet, and this is the inverted pleat. I just want you to take a look at the difference. Inverted pleat, and we have the goblet. That these, you know, we don't get a lot of these. This is very traditional. This is cubicle drapery, which has like a little grommet here and like some pins, and this is the rod pocket. Nobody doesn't order these anymore. So rod pocket, I mean, these three, the last ones are like the least favorite ones. I mean, ripple fold is the most, and then tailored pleat is the second, and then pinch pleat. These three are the only, and grommet, of course. Okay, perfect. So that's that, and I think we covered drapery pretty much. Let's go to drapery hardware. Drapery hardware, they have the steel material. Any of these hardware, if it's like a rod, this is either called a rod, and the other ones are called tracks. Tracks are where there are glides inside it. The rods are the ones that we use rings with it. Okay, so this collection has like steel rods and rings, acero rod and rings, Gramercy, rod and ring, rod and ring, rod and ring. This all comes with rings. And these are poles. When it's like more kind of like a wood material, it's called pole. When it's more like a iron material, it's called rod. So the difference between rod and pole is pretty much the material. Okay, and this is same thing, rod. And they're calling it rod. We as well. So I mean, anything. See like how many collections they have, like really good collections. And these are the track systems. See, these, then they have glides inside them. You don't see it right now, but there is like a hole here. There's like an opening here, and the glides go there. All of these from here to top, okay, these collections, they have only all rings. See how you see the rings, and then starting from this Madison collection, there's no rings anymore. It's like a track system. These are all the tracks, and this is the custom track system, where the custom track system is the one that it has a cording system where you can operate the drapery with cords and not wands. That's called custom track. And they didn't show the traditional or the standard track because it looks the same as this. So this is the same look. However, this one has the cording system around it, so we can operate with the cord. It's called custom track. So these are the things, and if you want to customize any of these, start customizing. Yeah, and then you just have to pick single or double rod. Okay, double rod is like when you have 2 layers of draperies. So if you pick this one, then it's asking for the length, pole length, which means pole width. It's the same thing. Okay, so let's say if we have a window that's like, let's say if you have a window that's 45, if you want to extend 5 inches on this each side, then the total width of the pole should be 55. Okay, mount type, if you want to do wall mount or ceiling mount, let's say wall mount. Finish, these are all the finishes that they have. And then next step is the finial. These are the finials they offer. And do you want rings? Yes, no, yes. Next step, how many rings do you want? Let's say, and then if they say yes, next step, and it doesn't ask for the number of the rings. I think it calculates it off of this the size of the rod. Like if it's like let's say 30 to 40 inch rod, it requires 7 rings. 40 to 50, it requires 8 rings. Stuff like that. Okay, so that's the total price of this hardware. That's how we customize the hardware. Going back to this, last product is called Valances and Cornices. This is a cornice box. It's a upholstered piece where it's a piece of board, okay, with 2 returns. See like how this is a return to cover the side, and this there's like paddings here. Okay, so this is complete. This is a cornice, and this is a valance, and this is a Roman valance. Okay, cornices has a little bit of padding, whereas these two, the valances, they don't even have any padding. Okay, see like this is a return. This is a 6-inch return because it's a roller. Rollers are sticking out more, like they have more projection. Okay, but the Romans have less projection, so this has more, like the return is bigger on these. And so this is the face of a valance or a cornice. This is a face. These are the returns, and that's the dustboard, the top part. Sometimes we customize valances into flat valance. Flat valance is, it doesn't have a return and or it doesn't have a top part. It's just like a flat piece, and it's used for inside mount products. When we put an inside mount shade and the window is crooked and the top of the shade has gaps, and from one side to the other, like one side it's like 1/4 of an inch gap at the top to the top of the window, and one side is 1 inch because the window is crooked. A lot of times we offer a product that's called the flat valance to cover the top of that, and that flat valance is a piece with no returns and no dustboard. It's just a flat face. Okay, and let's say if you want to order a valance for our roller shade, okay, we're going to customize it. And which product, I mean, if you wanted the blackout roller shade, so it took us to the roller. So you can order a valance for a roller without ordering the roller itself. Okay, but so this is one unit. Roller and valance usually comes as one unit if you want your roller to have a valance. However, cornice box is just a separate whole entity. It's as if you want to order for a different product. You have existing draperies and you want to cover the top of the draperies with a valance. That's called the cornice box because it's a separate entity. And if you want to customize this, we would start with it has two options: cornice with a welt on the top and bottom, cornice with nail heads, and cornice with nothing. Let's start with cornice with nothing, and these are all the things. It gives you the option of all their fabrics. Okay, so let's just pick this color from cotton. If you, let's say, if you want to do velvet, then these are the colors for the velvet. Let's just pick this color for the velvet. And then we'll just put the mount type, whether if it's an inside and outside. What is the difference between a cornice box that getting made for an inside?
For inside, obviously, we need to check the depth as well.
Also, what like this, the outside cornice, what does it have that the inside cornice doesn't have?
They no, what they call them, the
Returns.
side mask.
Yes, returns. And so the reason why we don't need returns is because it's inside and nothing gets exposed, so we don't see it, so we don't need it. And if we put it, then it's going to be a gap, right? Because it's like a half an inch on each side. It's like it's going to go short, like narrower. The actual product will go narrower if we have returns on the valance. So yes, this is the difference. So let's say if we do outside mount. And this is how it's saying. It says the overall, it's going to be 1.5. So that means 3/4 is the thickness of each return. That's the difference. 3/4 of an inch is each return. Okay. So the next step, then this is how we customize. 16-inch is the width, and also the height. That it usually starts at 4 inches. So this is like a 10-inch. What you see in the picture is a 10-inch. 4 inch is a very small valance, okay? And the depth, it's because an outside. If we had picked the inside mount, trust me, it wouldn't have the depth. It does have the depth. Select room label. So yeah, that's it. So we just yeah. Oh. You know what? It does need a depth for an inside because it has a dustboard. You know that dustboard, the top part. The roof. That's why it needs a depth for an inside. It doesn't have a return, but it does have a dustboard. So that's it. So we just customize a cornice and that's it. So what is the difference between a cornice and a valance? Cornice box and a valance.
Our screens are more projected outward.
Which?
Valence.
First off, it's valance.
Yes.
Valance, right? Okay, so the difference between a valance and a cornice is that valances are usually used for romans and rollers that comes and it's built as one entity with the roller. So when we order a roller with valance, that comes as one entity, so it's a part of the shade. Okay, it comes at one piece and we install just one piece. We don't install a separate piece on top of a roller. However, cornices, that terminology is usually used for just one separate piece where it doesn't have a product with it. It's just a box. Okay, that's a cornice box, but valance it comes with a different product. So a product plus a box is that is called a valance.